Hello. My name on YouTube's Ron in Japan.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What's
Thanks.
your name?
This is so weird. My name is Rod. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Rod's a longtime friend of mine. We've known
Yes.
each other for 8
Mhm.
years probably now, right?
And we're gonna try talk seriously.
Yeah. We always do. So yeah, I wanted to talk to Rod because he is an artist, as you can see. These are a couple of the many paintings that he has created, and there's a lot around the room. So we'll take a look at all those. But before we get into your art, which is the main topic that I want to talk to you about, give us a quick background. Where are you from? When did you come to Japan? Why did you come to Japan?
You know that already.
But they don't. All my millions of followers.
Um, well, I'm from the Philippines, and I first came to Japan in the year 2000.
Long time ago.
Yeah, August 31st. So it's been 24 years, just
Wow.
like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Japan anniversary.
Mhm.
You didn't have a party this year?
No.
Oh,
Well, there
gosh.
was typhoon, remember?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I was gonna go to see my family because I was gonna celebrate with one of my sisters, whom I came to Japan first with, actually.
Okay.
Which we haven't celebrated together, so I thought like, hey, but then there was typhoon, so I could not go. Anyways, I think the main reason that we came to Japan is because, or I came to Japan is because of my Japanese heritage. Yeah.
Which is?
My grandfather was Japanese.
Okay.
He was from Okayama.
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 I might go there in a couple weeks to.
Oh yeah, first time?
Yeah, first time. It's for work, but
Yay.
Yeah, cool. And you've been there?
Yeah, a couple of times, but only for a few hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
To see family? Is there still people
No,
there?
I went to what's that island, Shikoku, and it's on the way, and on the way back and on the way, I don't remember which way. I stopped by there. A couple
Okay.
of times.
Just thought you should because.
Yeah. I when I was there, actually, at the time, my Japanese uncle was still there. He passed away a few years ago, or years ago. But anyways.
And then you moved to Japan because you kind of had some roots here and just wanted to have a change of pace, or?
Actually, growing up, I've always wanted to go abroad. But then, because of my heritage, Japan was the easiest country to get into. So
Do you have a long-term visa then? Or do you have permanent residency?
I do have a permanent resident
Okay.
visa.
Did you have long-term visa before?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you have family that is from Japan, a lot of Brazilians have this. It's a long-term visa, which is stronger than just a normal visa. I think you can do any kind of work under long-term, right? But it's not
Yes.
permanent residency. So
Not
yeah.
right away.
Yeah. Great. Cool. And so I know you've moved around a bit. You were going to go home. I was pretty sad about that before COVID. You moved to Tokyo.
Yes.
And then ended up in Gifu, I think, right?
Yeah. After Tokyo, I moved to Gifu.
Yeah, which was closer. And now you're back in Nagoya.
Yeah. I moved to Gifu because I thought that would be my final year, and it would be cool to be with my family as my final year in Japan, because they all lived in Gifu up to this day. So, but it did not happen because of COVID.
Yeah. Yay.
Yay.
You're still here.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
and
am.
I know a lot of your friends are happy about that. So, great. Well, thank you. And now let's talk about your art because obviously you're very talented, and I really appreciate my friends who are artists and doing cool stuff, and that's why I want to do these kind of interviews. But I love that you're not so, you're very humble about your talents, because I don't remember when I discovered you were an artist, but I remember when I did, I was pretty, amazed at your talent. So I'm like, wow, you did this? I mean, this is fantastic. And then there's a lot of art around that is really cool. So how did you originally get into art?
First of all, thank you. Well, since I was a kid, I've always been into painting. My maternal grandfather, actually. He was a painter, also a sculptor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he was an influence to our family. I think at some point when we were little children, I think almost all of us did some art, and especially with my two sisters, we've joined so many painting contests when we were little children, and we did win many times. Yay! But then when I was in middle school, I think I kind of got tired of that because we were focused, or I was focused more on into winning rather than the craft or the hobby. But I was still doing it. I just needed a break, and in college I studied architecture, which is related to art, and we did have some art lessons and drawing and all that and painting. So it was fun. It was not that difficult for me because I had that little background as a kid. And I moved to Japan. I've always thought about like, hey, maybe we should go back to painting, blah blah blah. And well, that did not happen. Too much party.
Initially, anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I started painting again, like when I was in Tokyo.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So all of these are like post-Tokyo?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Actually, yes.
Okay.
So I think when I started again in Tokyo, I made like about 20 like small pieces. Yeah. And I bought this small box of watercolor when I lived in Osaka back in 2006, and I only touched it a couple of times. I did finish one painting, that one right there.
Oh.
Yes, that's watercolor.
Oh, that's your painting too?
Yes.
My God.
That's the only painting that I finished in my whole, well.
And that's watercolor?
That is watercolor.
Okay.
Yes.
It looks like oil from this distance.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, cool.
That's watercolor. So that's the only painting that I did from between 2000 up to 2018. Yeah. So think about all the parties that happened, all the distraction, and well, I was in a difficult situation in Tokyo, and I got depressed, and I had to help myself, and painting helped me.
Sure.
Yes. It's like, where's that old watercolors? Like, okay, let me use them finally, and then it just like boom, 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 boom. That's how it started.
And playing catch up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It
Yeah.
was fun, and it did help my situation in Tokyo.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. And I think that story is very common where you take something way too serious and you kind of lose the fun and then you forget about it for a while, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of come back. Same with me with music. When I was in America, I lost my job. I spent a year as a professional musician making all my money playing music.
Yeah.
And then I had to do it to survive, to live, to pay my bills. And it wasn't fun anymore. So I quit.
Right.
And I didn't start again until I came to Japan. So yeah,
Yeah.
you got to find the pleasure in your art and
That's true.
not do it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. But I'm sure you have and could sell these paintings for some good money. They are for sale at the right price. Name your price. Yeah, we'll get into that later. But I believe you have an online store that you can purchase on. Do you?
Yes. I bought some of my stuff or many of my stuff online.
Okay.
Do we need to say the name?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll put a link to it. So.
Yes. I mean, I bought stuff on Amazon, and then there's this what's this store, art store in Sakai. They have it in Tokyo as well.
Okay.
I went to the same store in Tokyo. Say what? Hey what? Say. Oh gosh. Something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yes,
yeah.
we'll figure it out.
I'll post a link to
Seikaido.
it. Seikaido. Okay.
Seikaido, yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
And they're there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah, I see them pop up on Instagram. I think
Yes.
once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So you went to architecture school, and I guess that probably did have an influence on your art and your abilities, I would imagine.
Um, a little bit. The color side, the design side is not so much
Okay.
because it's architecture, it's buildings and houses and geometry and all that. But the yeah, like I said, the color side.
It
Um,
helped with the color side.
yeah, well, actually, because when you study architecture, like you have to do drafting, a lot of drafting, floor planning, and all that. And I did not enjoy it as much as coloring because when we do plans, you have to do perspective and you color the perspective to present to your clients. So I was always excited to do the perspective and the coloring.
Okay.
Yes, I think because of that.
I thought it would be, I guess, where my mind was more of the, the geometry side, Da Vinci style, and Dali. They're very, geometry
Yes,
oriented. So I thought
yes.
maybe that would have some kind of influence.
A little bit, but I guess depending on the kind of art that you make. Like for Da Vinci, he was very, particular with the lines and the perspective and all that. But I mean, I mean, of course, I think about it, but it's not my main thing.
Sure.
I just, especially I do a lot of abstract nowadays. Um, of course, you got to find a balance, but still, I don't think about lines and, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, people get very, like I think Dolly was that way. He gets very mathematical
Yeah,
with his painting. Then you can see it in there. It's
Yeah.
great.
Like, especially if you paint like a portrait, like you gotta find the balance, here. And
Sure. So for inspirations, like being in Japan, has Japan changed your style or have given you any kind of inspiration that you didn't have before moving here?
for sure.
Yeah.
Because when I was like that painting, it's obviously a realist painting, so I was more into that kind of art, and all the parties and all the experiences in Japan. I think that kind of led me to all this abstraction. Yes.
Okay, so not in the more, someone would typically think like the, Fuji Mountain and the sakura cherry blossoms and this kind of thing, but more of the lifestyle you were living at that time, or the party, this kind of abstract, wild, like that one across the room, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Just like
yeah, that's super cool. And I'll put pictures so you can see what we're talking about. But okay, that's interesting. I was kind of not thinking of that about that way of influence. But I
But
guess,
there's that Mount Fuji.
sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I've painted sakura. Yes, a lot of those were commissioned work. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Great. Do you have any specific techniques that you think, like, I don't know a ton about art, but is there any technique that you would say that you focus on or you use in your art?
I like colors. I like bold colors, and I like thick, like textures. Like as you could see, you could see the lines and the texture of.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of thick. That's kind
Rough,
of
yes,
around,
and it's like embossed, and I like that kind of stuff right now.
yeah.
At least for now, yes. And I like to play with the brush. Like when I paint, actually, I'm not sure if a lot of artists do this, but or painters, I like to twirl my brush when I'm painting.
Okay.
Yeah, not all the time, but a lot of times, yeah. So.
When you're painting, do you mind if somebody's watching you, or do you prefer to be by yourself, in tune, undistracted?
Sometimes I like both. So sometimes I like to be alone and just focus and get lost in my imagination. And sometimes I like having people around. One thing I noticed though is that usually when I'm by myself, I overthink. I take my time, which can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing, especially if there's a deadline.
Sure.
Yeah, but when there's people around, um, I don't know. From my little experience with having people around me, I tend to work more. I think less, and it's just like, dab that brush and then just stroke whatever.
Like you're performing in a way for
Yeah,
people.
kind of
So,
like that. And
yeah.
I think there's that pressure, like I gotta do something because somebody's watching.
Yeah.
Rather than like me by myself. I was like,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, painting's a different style of art. I think if I'm trying to write a song, no way could I be in a room full of people watching me try to write a song. It's impossible. I need to be isolated by myself.
What if
kind
it's
of
an
tuned
angry
in.
song?
I'm not an angry person.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Well, I don't write angry. I don't have any angry songs. It's about like butterflies and stuff like
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah. Well, no, I've never put a butterfly in any of my songs, but yeah, one of my old roommates in Portland, Oregon, Taylor. What's up, Taylor? Amazing artist, professional guy, just mind blowing talent. I love to watch him paint.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you mind? I was kind of, is this okay? Oh yeah, it's fine. And he's just freaking weird. His head's always moving. He's like, just watching him work is insane. And then you don't even know what's happening. And then all of a sudden, this amazing picture just starts to develop out of his painting. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I love to watch that. I love to watch people create something like that. Like, how did that end up to be this like beautiful naked woman out of what you started with? There's like no way I could have guessed what it was going to be, but it's just this very amazing picture that I just see kind of come to life. And you do some parties. I apologize, I have not been to any of them, but will you do any of those parties in the future? What kind of parties am I talking about?
Well, I've done with a friend. We've done a couple of art parties before, and it's funny you asked that because this piece is actually from that art party.
Oh, okay.
And that one too.
Okay, cool.
So we bought 2 large canvases, and we agreed on having each of us one. But my friend is still nowhere to be found. So like, anyways.
Okay.
So he's supposed to get one of the paintings.
Okay.
Yeah. So while waiting for him, like I finally decided to just use the canvases, and like this one used to be so different. Yeah, I can show you the painting from the art party.
Yeah, I think I remember it because you had it in here, and you were telling me you were going to change some things. So
same story as that other one, but it was a pink painting, and I didn't want to change the pink atmosphere, so I just thought of something. What could be a pink painting? That's why, hence the flowers. Yes.
Okay.
But it was all unplanned. It's just I just want to base it on that original pink painting. So
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yes, we did a couple of parties before, and maybe we could organize something.
I would love to. Before I was always busy on the weekends. Now I'm a little more free on the weekends. So Sundays is better, so I can enjoy alcoholic beverages and not have to worry about working the next day.
More parties again.
Well,
but at least now we're painting.
Yeah, doing something productive and creative.
Yes.
Has there been any challenges, I guess, about being in Japan and trying to paint?
Trying to paint?
Like being a painter in Japan as opposed to anywhere else?
Well,
as like someone that's interested in Japan specifically?
When it comes to earning, I've not experienced that yet because I still have my main job, and right now painting is mostly a hobby. And although there were people and friends that have bought a few of my paintings, it's still not my main game right now. Eventually, that's the goal.
To be able to paint as a way of living and to support yourself financially through that.
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
But
And is there a specific reason why Japan is challenging when it comes to earning money through your art?
I think it's almost the same everywhere.
Yeah,
Just
a struggling artist
yeah,
kind of story.
that's always the story, like the
Yeah.
struggling artist, and how that story is being romanticized.
Paperback Writer, the song by the Beatles, is all about the struggling artist.
Exactly. Yes. Maybe it's almost the same as, you as a singer, your band. Like, do you think you can just focus on that?
I think in Japan, especially with music, it's a lot different. In America, where I was living, I could play music and survive
Yeah.
and pay my bills through that.
Mhm.
In Japan, it's not possible because the way things are structured are a little bit different. It's like you have to pay the venue
Yes.
usually to play, right?
Right.
And I don't know about the art world if it's anything like that, but I know you are showing your paintings and they are for sale, I would assume. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't really thought about it yet, but I could. From what I've seen, it might not be that easy, especially for foreigners.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's all about getting that one person of influence
Yes.
to buy your painting and be like, this guy's amazing.
Yes.
Look at this. You should check him out. And then, that's kind of what is the BS part of the art. There is this business side to it where, the influencers of the world are the people that decide which art is good and
Exactly.
which is not good and what you should spend money on, right? So I guess it's getting that one
Yeah.
wealthy guy who loves your art to buy a piece and tell his friends about it, and then you could probably quit teaching overnight at that point.
Let's hope
Yeah.
Mr. Musk will see this video.
Yeah. Do you think though, if you did get to that point again, you would get burnt out on art once again, or you had a kind of a different place mentally that it would be a better situation for you?
Well, I think, like I've kind of experienced that already. But what I tend to do is like you go on a different path, like you try a different style. You try different colors, or maybe you try a different medium. So,
Yeah.
but I think we all need a break at some point. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, that's why when I went to Paris, France, a few months ago, I went to the Dali Museum, and the largest private collection of Dali art in the world. And I was just blown away because he's my favorite artist. But you see, like these true artists of their time. It's just this is this period. This is this period. He was doing these, and the kind of the art changes over time in the mediums. And that's another question I had for you. Like, what other mediums what kind of mediums do you use?
Right now, I'm using mostly acrylic and gouache, and I still use a watercolor every now and then, which was my first medium when I was a kid. I also use inks like that. Those are ink.
The blue emojis.
Blue emojis, that's right.
Yeah, and these are super cool. I bought some stickers and gave them. I gave a few to Tony's little girl Tai Chen, so and she loved them. And yeah, again, I'll post pictures of these. I love these. They're just it's so cute. Really, they're just like super cute. And where did these come from?
From boredom.
Yeah,
No, it's true.
Yeah.
I was at my school. I think they started during COVID. So I was at my school, and then I had a lot of free time at that school for some reason, and I was like, "What can I do? To use my time?" So I secretly,
besides flipping through freaking Instagram.
yes, right. So I secretly something productive. So I secretly brought my drawing book. Like I have this small drawing book. And then I started just doodling, and yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah, it's cool. And now you have stickers and stuff like that. Yeah, they're super cool. And I love that one with the tree and the kind of the blue emojis around the tree. That's very kind of psychedelic, like, kind of a mushroom trip looking thing. And I love it. It's super cool.
Yes,
It's
I
great.
actually like that one.
Great. Okay. So right now you do have a couple exhibits and you have done commissions for people, right? So if somebody does want to commission a painting from you, how does that work?
Usually, commission is, well, my last commission, they wanted something like this particular place or picture. So, like that TV tower.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So that's what they wanted. And my couple of other commissions, they just said, "Oh, I want Sakura and Mount Fuji. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want."
Okay.
So yeah.
Great.
Or
And so people can contact you online if they're interested in
Sure.
such a thing? Yeah.
Mhm.
Great, okay. And any size and any kind of medium
Yeah.
requested?
They usually would well, those couple of people, like they did ask for the exact size they want.
Okay, yeah, because they probably have a place they want to put it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so where can people find you online?
They can find me on Instagram. I have a couple of accounts on Instagram, Facebook, and I think that's it.
Okay, do you have a website or anything like that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
For my art, I don't have one yet.
Okay. Well, I'll post a link to his Instagram, so if you want to follow
Yes.
there, please do. I do, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then Facebook as well, if that's the
Right.
preferred method of social media.
Yes. Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
do have a YouTube channel that I created during COVID.
Okay.
Yes, there's like around 5 or 10 videos of some of my paintings. Actually, a lot of my paintings were there.
Okay.
So I need to start working on that again.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube's a
been
great way
ages.
to get out to people, right? A lot of people go to YouTube for everything nowadays. It's almost bigger
Yes.
than Google at this point. So
It is.
cool. And just one last question. What advice would you give to an aspiring artist, like somebody that is wanting to, who needs maybe a little more confidence, or how to get started, or just how to start painting or creating art?
Like anything else that you want to do, just do it. Yeah, and less party. Just get that focus. And of course, there'll be days when it's difficult, and there'll be days when it's fun and just free flowing. That's part of the process. Just do it.
Sure.
Get that brush moving.
Yeah, yeah, and then like anything else, even songwriting, the more you do it, the more practice you get, the better you become
Exactly.
at it, right? I mean, I've written songs that will never see the light of day, but I wrote it and it's a song. I don't even like it, but it helped me through that creative process,
Exactly.
right? So even if you have a painting, it's like, oh, this painting is not good at all, but I did it, I created it, and now it's a way to learn and move on from that. So
you can learn from all the stuff that you made.
yeah, great. All right, any last words?
Well, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me into your apartment. I'll make a video. There's art all over the place, and I believe most, if not all of them, are rods. So yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Yes. Oh, by the way, in November, the Nagoya International Center will be having another foreign artist exhibition.
Sure. Yeah,
So-
the annual.
Yes, it's an annual
exhibition,
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think late October until first week of November. So
Okay.
yeah.
Great. I'll be there. I show up. It's a lot of cool. It's a lot of local artists
Yes.
in the area.
Yes, definitely.
I don't amateurs. I don't know if you want to say that, but there's a lot of really cool stuff there,
Yes.
including yours. So
Please come.
yeah, I'll be there.
Yay.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rod, for having me into your apartment and talking about your art. And reach out with any questions and tune in next time. Thanks so much. Ciao.
Ciao.